Welcome back to Solent Sport News. I'm Danny O'Hara. Ralph Hasenhüttl's Southampton welcome Chelsea to St Mary's tomorrow. Saints will be without Moussa Djempo due to a tendon injury he suffered 3 games ago, although Cedric Suarez may return after getting injured in the warm-up last weekend. Chelsea may welcome back Callum Hudson-Odoi as the youngster returns to action midweek as he featured in their Champions League match against Lille. Southampton manager Hasenhüttl praised Frank Lampard's young Chelsea side ahead of Sunday's game.
I'm convinced about my team that we always can score, we always can win games, also in away games, so I'm not frightened about that game, but we must be clear that we need a better performance.
Of course, the clash at St Mary's isn't the only fixture in the Premier League this weekend, and Ben Pett is here to give us a roundup of all the top-flight action over the next couple of days.
Yeah, so as well as the tie at St Mary's, other key fixtures include table toppers Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp's unbeaten Reds host an informed Leicester City, with Brendan Rodgers returning to Anfield for the first time since his departure a few years ago. Bottom side Watford face Sheffield United at home. Quique Sanchez-Flores is still without a win since returning to the Hornets. And struggling Spurs will look to bounce back from their 7-2 defeat to Bayern Munich on Tuesday with a win against Brighton away.
Racism has once again peered its ugly head into sport, but it's not as black and white as people think, with ethnic exclusion being brushed under the carpet. Ollie White reports.
Ethnic discrimination in sport is an occurrence that people from all age groups experience every day. Commonly, participants from a different ethnic background experience various forms of bullying during physical activity, with 1 in 5 saying they had a negative experience of sports in school. An example of this is even in football. Although now being one of the most culturally diverse sports in the world, there is a lack of any British Asian players in the England senior squad.
There weren't any South Asian footballers. There was no one around me breaking through. Even in the primary school that I went to, we had Sturridge that went there, he broke through. And in secondary school we had Berahino. It was the black kid that got picked, or the white kid that got picked. It was never us.
I remember one time when I was playing, all I heard was from the opposition players was, "Get the Taliban."
I guess they just don't look at you. They don't watch you as they would watch the other players. Because it's not a lack of talent. There's talent there within the South Asian community, but a lot of them just give up.
2 British Solent students have come forward to recall their experiences of discrimination. Jeremy Budd, who lived in Belgium, and Laura Goldney, who lived in France, explained the problems they faced when they were part of an ethnic minority themselves.
Because we were better at football and just more accomplished on the football pitch than the Belgian boys, we ended up being, starting ahead of them, being picked over them, and the Belgian boys didn't like that. They started to, kind of bully us out of the club.
It was just little things like, say, for the school relay, I was always picked last because I was the English girl, and the English girl can't be trusted, and because I'm English I can't run, and just little things like that. It was fairly constant. It wasn't just in relay, it was also in dodgeball. That was more just like, let's hit the English girl.
So we'd be training session after training session, just, physically abused, kicked randomly.
Because it was throughout the whole of primary school, and so I'm pretty sure that's one of the main reasons why I've turned out fairly insecure and quite anxious as a person, because I'm constantly thinking, am I okay, do I fit in? It's constantly second-guessing everything now.
However, secondary school PE teacher Sam Hodgson believes that from his experience there is not as much ethnic diversity as people may think.
I don't think there's as much of a cultural divide as there used to be, but I think somewhat it does exist, but I think that's because people are more at comfort occasionally with their own race and their own ethnicities. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I just think that's the way society works, and that's the way it has worked for centuries.
With varied views regarding the topic, it's clear that the authorities still have work to do to completely eradicate ethnic discrimination.
Now we turn our attention to the movement of cricket. Did England's win in the recent World Cup attract the attention of the general public and inspire them to get involved?
Through they come! England can't lose.
That is the most extraordinary innings ever been played by an Englishman.
He's got it! England have won the World Cup by the barest of margins!
What a summer for English cricket. Ben Stokes led his side to World Cup victory and helped salvage a draw against the Australians when they looked down and out.
At this time, the Ashes is probably the biggest cricketing event in the world.
North Newton cricket batsman Tom Russell heaps praise on the Ashes, and he tells us where he sees the future of cricket going.
I do think cricket is definitely going down the route of shorter games because it's more exciting to watch, and especially with the World Cup, people like the quick, exciting games because sometimes they find 5-day games drag on.
Has Ben Stokes acted as a catalyst for change towards the shorter format of the game? In the studio, cricket journalist Max Colborne and Aqib Talat provide their insight.
Well, I think the 100-ball format will be very good in England, and it will raise the game for T20 as well. But I think for the 100-ball format, it's all about what overseas players sign for the clubs. So if you don't get Chris Gale and these kind of players, then I don't think it will be a success.
And I think the whole new format is designed to get young people into cricket at the detriment of Test cricket, I'm afraid. I think
one-day format and T20, other than the World Cup itself, it's all about Test cricket. And I think if you win a World Cup, it doesn't really, affect anything. They've never won it before, but I think Ashes and Test cricket is so important for England.
England captain Joe Root has his say on the new 100-ball game.
Off the back of a fantastic summer, the other formats are going to be there. They're not going to go anywhere. Test cricket's obviously on the up, I suppose, after an amazing Ashes series. But this is an opportunity to grow the game even further, get people interested.
While sports fans know how successful our cricketing summer was, we asked the general public if they watched it too.
Yeah, I was working in a pub over summer while the cricket was on. Me personally, I didn't really pay much attention, but the atmosphere was very lively, and I can tell that everyone enjoyed it.
Yeah, I actually did. I was at work during the World Cup final. I was watching that, and I had to take an extra half an hour break. Unbelievable.
In my personal opinion, it wouldn't be something that I'd watch anyway, because it's not really a sport that I've ever been into, but I can see the appeal for other people to watch it, so I could see why it's been very popular over the summer.
This is a Ben Stokes world, and we're all living in it. Goodbye.
No way! No way! You cannot do that, Ben Stokes. That is remarkable.
In today's Rugby World Cup tie in Tokyo, South Africa beat 14-man Italy 43-3 in Pool B to bolster their hopes of reaching the quarter-finals. Our rugby correspondent David Phillips has more on the Springboks' victory.
A crucial win here for the Springboks as they look to restart their World Cup hopes with a victory today. The 49-3 result takes them level on points with group leaders Italy in Pool B. The Azzurri were left a man down for the majority of the match after Andrea Levotti was sent off for an illegal tip tackle. It was a great day for number 14 Cheslin Colby. The hot-stepping winger scored twice to help the Boks build a strong scoreline. He was helped by the boot of Andre Pollard. The fly half kicked 14 points to keep the scoreline ticking over. Coach Rassie Erasmus appeared impressed with the brand of rugby his side played today, and can only hope they continue this into the knockout rounds. With the final score South Africa 49, Italy 3.
Looking ahead to the weekend's action, and England have their toughest challenge of the competition so far as they face Argentina. Argentina beat Tonga 28-12 in their previous game in Pool C, and England coach Eddie Jones feels he has done everything to ensure his side a win on Saturday and a chance of reaching the quarter-finals for the first time since 2011.
We worked hard on creating training situations to equip the players for it. The players have worked hard off the field to handle situations well, but like anything, it's a bit like a tea bag, isn't it? You don't know how good it is until you put it in hot water.
Great Britain won their second gold medal of the World Championships in Doha. Katrina Johnson-Thompson not only smashed her own personal best, but beat the British record in the heptathlon. This was the 26-year-old Scouser's first medal at the outdoor event and ended on 6,091 points, beating the 2017 champion by 304 points. Johnson spoke of her delight to the media.
I've not had a heptathlon like that since I was a junior, so I've been waiting for that moment. I've been seeing other athletes get PBs and a big score, and I'm just so happy that I was able to compete and level up.
Mo Farah's former coach Alberto Salazar has been found guilty of doping violations. After a 4-year investigation, the US doping agency finally concluded his fate. IOC President Thomas Bach believes his athletes who trained with Salazar should be tested. He said, "We are confident that WADA will look into this case very carefully and will follow up on questions which remain after this report." With climate change being an ever-growing issue on the global political agenda, many are seeking ways to promote the usage of electric vehicles. At the forefront of this is the FIA Formula E series, with Jaguar launching their latest car on Wednesday, as Rob Lomas reports.
For more than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight?
That was the voice of Greta Thunberg, a climate activist who spoke boldly at the UN Climate Emergency Summit and condemned the world leaders for their lack of action and urgency regarding climate change. This is what motorsport sounded like 25 years ago, and this is what the future sounds like. This is Formula E.
And we go green in Rome. Mitch Evans through the final corner to win the Rome Prix for Jaguar. Lotterer across the line in second.
The Panasonic Jaguar racing team launched their car for Season 6 on Wednesday in Gaydon, Warwickshire, and at the launch I spoke to one of their drivers, Mitch Evans, about the season ahead and what his hopes and expectations were in light of last season.
It would have been nice to have that performance throughout the whole year. It could have been a different story, but you know, we've learned a lot. We're still learning as a team, but we've definitely made that next jump, and hopefully that jump will take us to the next level, which hopefully is championships.
That was the view of Mitch Evans, but what does someone in the industry, a respected journalist, think?
My name is Toby Bloom, and I am editor for German Formula E news portal eFormel.de.
I started off by asking him as to what he thought could potentially be a factor in the rise of the popularity of Formula E in recent years.
The main contributor to the rise of Formula E in the last 2 years possibly is the audience Formula E appeals to. Yeah, families. You see a lot of families in the E-Village, and a younger audience. They like to be on social media. They don't want to spend an entire weekend in the forests of Belgium.
I also asked Toby what his thoughts were on just how environmentally friendly Formula E is.
At the moment, I think it's difficult to say that any major sporting event, any international or national sporting event is 100% environmentally friendly. So I wouldn't call Formula E 100% environmentally friendly, but still a lot more green than other series are.
The future then seems like electric vehicles and Formula E are going to be the future of motorsport.
That's all for us now. Tune in to Solent Sport News on Monday for all the talking points and discussion from the weekend's sporting action.